What's up guys, Washeyy. We're going to be doing Diddy Kong Racing 100% in just under 2 hours hopefully. It's a good run, it's got a lot of little downtime in it, and commentating with me is going to be Liquid Wi-Fi. So yeah, we should be ready to get right into it. Alright, on go, 3, 2, 1, go.
So Diddy Kong Racing 100% requires you to get all 47 balloons in the game. Is it 47 or 47?
47. Yeah.
47.
Yeah, 47.
Yeah, 47 balloons in the game. There's 40 done in races. You get
3 from like challenge races.
Yes.
With this lovely bloke here.
And then you get 4 in the overworld.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
And the reason why I need 47 balloons is because it unlocks the final boss of the game, which is Wizpig 2. So basically, we're going to be doing a lot of racing and a couple of challenges along the way.
I am the genie of the island. I'm here to help you. Good luck.
So right away, he's going to honk and get Taj's attention. And he's going to pick the plane because the plane has the most, I guess, the best movement for the overlord, just because you can go pretty much anywhere you need to go. So he's going to collect the 4 balloons in the overworld basically right off the bat. Run one just off the ledge down here. He's going to chuck a U in, try and grab this one without bonking on the log. Nicely done. You'll see he's going to be doing a lot of barrel rolls in plane. It actually increases your speed like a lot. So it's really, really good for just like going very, very fast. And then this last one as we enter Dino Domain. So each, there's 5 hubs in the world in each. Hub has 4 races. The number on the door represents the amount of balloons you need to enter the race. And we need to do each race 2 times. One for the regular race completion and a second for the silver coins. Which is like a challenge mode that you get after beating the boss the first time. So this right here is Jungle Falls, a really, really cool track. It's basically, like, it has every bit of tech that you can possibly imagine in this game. It's pretty full on. Now at the end of the race, what he's going to try and do is he's going to try and pause on a particular frame just as he passes the cutscene. Oh, so he passes the finish line, sorry. And he's going to try and do a cutscene skip. And he's going to go back to the lobby, and that still gives him the balloon for completing the race, but skips the cutscene where Taj comes in and gives you the balloon. It saves 6 seconds each time you get it, and there's 40 of them in the run, so 40 frame-perfect tricks throughout a 2-hour speedrun.
Yeah, the time can really add up if you start missing them, unfortunately. Now what I'm going to do here is collect a key, because 4 of the world hubs actually have like a mini game to do, and you have to get the keys to unlock them.
Nicely done.
Which we got. And then we just finish the race as usual.
Nice. So yeah, the key unlocks the minigame, which gives you a piece of the TC amulet, and the piece of the TC amulet is required to get to the final boss of the game, I believe. Is that correct? That's correct, yeah.
I think so, yeah. I should know this.
Yeah, me too. So yeah, you need 47 balloons, you need to complete the TC amulet, you need to complete the Wizpig amulet, and you need all 5 trophy races completed. That is the requirements for 100%.
So another thing you'll notice I'm doing is at the start of each race, I'm restarting the race, and that just skips like the camera panning. It only saves a little bit of time, but it does add up to some time over the run to do so.
Yeah, it's going to be doing that on every single track except for 2, which is Whale Bay and Snowball Valley, just because they're not fast to actually skip. So you might be wondering, you might be wondering why he's not collecting, because this game has like tiers of balloons. There's like a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and each gives you a bit more boost. He's not doing that just because, for the most part, if you let go of accelerate and use a boost or hit a zipper, you get this green boost. And the green boost actually gives you a really big speed boost that's like, oh my, wow. That actually, like, it's basically as good as the purple boost. And it's far easier to control as well. So that's the cutscene skip miss. It doesn't really matter all that much in this first one because you have to watch it at some point anyways. Ideally, you'd watch it after the Fire Mountain minigame. But here it only loses 3 seconds, and everyone after this loses 6 seconds. Is it 3 seconds? I think 4 seconds.
Yeah, about 4 seconds, yeah.
So you might also be hearing in the microphone, I'm not sure if it's coming through on the stream or not, but currently Washeyy is tapping the A button. He's not mashing it, he's actually tapping it in a pretty precise rhythm. That's because it gives you a lot more speed than just holding down the A button. And he's going to be doing that with every vehicle. But first he's going to perform this out of bounds, and you can just fly out of bounds, make sure you hit the checkpoints at the top and the bottom of the level. Performing barrel rolls along the way just to make it a decent chunk quicker. So this is an out of bounds you'll be seeing a lot, and we'll explain it when that matters. But he's going to head back inbounds here, hit the zippers, just because it's a lot easier than cutscene skip inbounds. 3 for 4 is not bad.
Generally, when you're in a plane, barrel rolling, well, it is always faster, so you don't actually tap the A button after the initial boost, unless you're going through like a tunnel or something like that where you need to actually drive carefully.
So this is one of the worst tricks in the game. This is called Tricky Skip. So what Washeyy's going to do is he's going to turn around basically straight away and try to hit this little ledge. And on this ledge is a checkpoint that turns on and off every single frame, and if it works, nice, this is what will happen. He will just continue driving, and after he passes a certain point, the race will finish. Getting that first try is very nice because that can take like 8 or 9 tries sometimes. It's really bad.
So I've had up to 11 tries before. And usually you would just, if you're doing resets, you just reset, you know. It's too costly. It's about 8 seconds every time you miss it.
And we have to do that a second time as well when we do the race again.
I've got something special for you.
Alright, so next we'll be off to Fire Mountain, which is what we collected that key for earlier. It's the minigame for this world. It can be quite tricky, sometimes you can get screwed over, but it shouldn't happen. But we'll see what happens here.
He's going to be flying in a very particular way to try and manipulate the AI to work in his favor. So Tip Top's going to drop his egg and he's going to just steal it straight away.
Oh.
And he's placing it on the very edge at the front of the nest because the AI has a lot more trouble picking up the eggs from there. Alright, now he's just got to guard this last one with the missile that he got. Looks like Tip Top's coming for it. Nice. That should be good.
Should be okay.
Well done. Yeah, that minigame can go very wrong very easily. It is a nightmare when it goes wrong. Alright, now he's going to go back and do all the races again for the silver coins. Basically, the silver coins are just placed in a bunch of different locations across the map. They're meant to just sort of throw you off and make it a little bit more difficult for you to win. But that's not really a problem with the AI being as bad as it is in this game.
Oh.
So you also notice that he's picking up bananas along the way. Bananas act as sort of like a little bit of a speed boost. I think they give a very slight speed boost up until you have 10 bananas.
It's about 2.5% speed increase and acceleration increase per banana.
So like,
I need to get that one.
so like having 1 banana isn't that much of a difference to having 0 bananas, but having 10 bananas is a very big difference to having 0 bananas.
Correct.
Oh, the door. Luckily, Ancient Lakes coins are not really all that different from where you would regularly go. There's just this one right here that goes a bit off the optimal path, and then beyond that, it's pretty much all the same because you can pick it up all up on lap 1. So yeah, you can buffer cutscene skips like that. If you pause too early, it's really easy to actually just pause to the next frame, depending on the track and the lag and stuff as well. Fossil Canyon silver coins are a little bit tricky to get just because some of them are placed in, well, one particular one is placed in a pretty awful location, that one right there. If you miss it 3 times, you have to turn around and get it again. Ideally, we'd just land on it while we're boosting across the moat. Exactly like that. That was nice.
Oh my. Yeah, the AI in this game can be quite tricky to avoid. They're more annoying because you are so fast, but they can recoil you in all different directions.
There's some circumstances where you'll be in front of the AI and you'll run into it, and then you'll be behind the AI. It's very silly. So with this track, we do have to get all the coins, and we're going to try and go out of bounds at the same, well, not at the same time, but a bit through the map, just to try and make it as optimal as possible. So it's going to grab this one, grab them all on the first lap, and then go out of bounds just for the easiest path, really. So what he's doing there to get out of bounds is he's boosting and then barrel rolling as he's approaching the floor. And what it does is it pushes him underneath the, I guess the collision for the wall, and then puts him out of bounds.
I'll get back in bounds for cutscene skip, hopefully. Alright.
Nice.
Alright, tricky round 2. Let's see if we get really lucky or
First
really
try
unlucky.
again. So after this race, what's going to happen is he's going to reset the console because a frame after you finish the race, the game auto-saves. So you can just reset the console, load up the file, and you'll have all your progress still, because it's faster than watching the cutscene. Let's see how this goes. So you know if you got it by seeing the wrong way by driving the correct direction. This is an example of how bad Tricky can be. Wow. There we go. Okay. What was that? 5th try?
Yeah.
Wrong way.
So yeah, trigger it to finish, hit the reset button, and just load up the file again. Much faster than watching the cutscene. So here we got one of the first overworld challenge races. There's one for each vehicle, car, hover, and plane. The car one is just driving around in the circle here. It's very simple. The hover one is a little bit more around the actual map itself, and then the plane one is pretty much the same path as hover. It's just a little bit different between going through the tunnel. He's going to cut across the grass here because he can cross the finish line, and he also finishes on the face of on the little pattern on the ground. Because if he reverses and honks, he shows up just like that.
Hello, select your abracadabra. Bye-bye now.
Oh. Okay.
Backflip. So Snowflake Mountain, we're only going to be doing each race once just for now, because it's a little bit faster just a bit later in the run to be able to just sort of split it up into 2, and we're going to do the same for Sherwood Island as well.
Okay. This level can actually be really tough because the frame rate generally will drop down to about 15 FPS, which is absolutely awful. But we can manage, and it does help us a lot by when it does like tank the frame rate, you can actually extend your boost further.
Yeah, this level Silvers is really difficult in particular.
Yep.
That's another thing that that can happen is the AI can use the balloons as well, and there's certain places in each map where you'll know where like oil slicks are and drops are. Just be careful of them at that particular point.
Alright, so this race I'm not going to actually reset because the camera panning is really quick, so we don't need to do it at all.
Yeah, this is one of the shortest maps in the game.
Okay.
Just because of how obviously just how short the track is, but there's also just a lot of boosts to make it a lot faster as well. Pretty much in every single section you can see. I've never seen one there before.
Same. We're going to take the other
DKR
path.
moment.
Yeah.
So the key in that level unlocks Icicle Pyramid. Icicle Pyramid, if you do it casually, is awful, but in a little bit we'll have a solution for the casual problem, which is one of the biggest blessings this game has. So Everfrost Peak is actually one of the few plane tracks that's out and out of bounds. It actually... It's been I think it's been theorized that like nothing's come through yet, but it is still a really fun track to do and a really quick track to do inbounds, just because you're moving so quick. So one thing we haven't touched on yet, actually, just let me cut this bit. Nice. So one thing we haven't touched on yet is that Washeyy's using the clock, and the clock is completely broken in this game. He has the best top speed and the best acceleration and mid-tier handling, which is actually exactly what you want from a character. No other character even comes close in terms of speed.
Time for a donation or two?
Yep, go
Absolutely.
for it.
Excellent. We have $40 from Ogre Mines with no comment. Thank you very much. We also have $4.20 from Dedge Under the Bedge Spreadge. Bork to Fork, Fit to Lift. Thank you very much.
So in this course, this is the first loop-de-loop in the course, and he's holding directly to the right, because that actually increases your speed, as opposed to just holding no direction or going to the left. So it cuts down the... Whoa, that missile was close. It cuts down the time you're in the loop-de-loop by a lot.
Back into the boss race. This one's not too hard, and we actually do it with the Hovercraft, which is another vehicle that we use in the game. It does have some tech. It does have the A-tapping tech, but it also has snaking. Because each time you move from, say, up left to up right, the game counts it as a sharp turn, and it gives you a speed boost each time you do it. So you basically snake back and forth, plus A-tapping in a rhythm, and kind of go fast.
Yeah, when you get into top speed in the Hovercraft, you zoom, you go really quick. Unfortunately, it has the side effect of destroying any controller that has the unfortunate experience of dealing with that. Resetting the console there just because obviously watching the cutscene is slow, but there is a second lot of races and a second boss just like in the first hub area. And we're going to do the same thing as Sherwood Island, as I said before.
Yeah, we are going to revisit those worlds for the silver coin races and do some kind of very funny stuff with the game.
It'll all make sense soon.
Yeah.
I challenge Abracadabra.
Second overworld race uses hover. Again, snaking just to go faster, trying to cut across areas of the game. General speed stuff, that's all. So he's actually driving a very particular way there to cross the finish line because it cuts off just a little bit of time. But if he goes off the track too early, he can actually fail the race just because the game thinks that you've gone and just stopped the race and gone somewhere else. So at the end there is actually turning to face the center because the waterfalls create a huge amount of lag. And if he's facing the waterfalls when Taj shows up, the cutscene just takes a lot longer. Sherwood Island has some of the, in my opinion, best tracks in the game, and I think it's the most fun section of the run, personally. Just because everything here is just really fast-paced, and just a lot of fun to do. It's also a section of the game that has the most Hovercraft tracks, with Pirate Lagoon and Whale Bay. So again, it can be very easy to lose time in Hovercraft as well, just because it's really easy to lose all your speed when you're snaking.
Also using a bit of snaking here to extend my boosts a lot further than they would go, and you can save a lot of time doing so.
Alright, so in this hub area, the Crescent Island has the key. It's actually one of the most inconvenient keys to go and pick up. It's really annoying. And he's going to be doing it on the second lap specifically because there is a cycle on the water which rises up and down. And ideally, he won't have to wait an extra cycle. So yeah, the key is in this little alcove off the edge. And you can see the water move up and down. As the water moves up, he drives into the key, and he's able to pick it up.
No, no, no. Wrong way.
And this is actually one of the few tracks that doesn't have any boosts on it, I believe. Any blue balloons.
Correct, yeah.
So when you're doing time trials, it's the exact same as doing the track, except for the AI, of course. Chicken!
Oh my god. So there's that recoil I was talking about earlier, where the AI can just bump you the wrong direction.
So yeah, this is the other track that we don't skip the initial cutscene on. But the cutscene skip at the end of the track is actually one of the worst ones to get, just because if you don't get it on the first pause, if it's for whatever reason really difficult to get. Like after the first pause, you're trying to pause buffer, and I think it's tied to the lag just because of the waterfalls.
Time for a couple more donations while we're cruising
Yep,
along?
go for it.
Excellent. We've got $10 from Bot. Get ready. Go. Good luck, man. And we've got $5 from 8-Bit Waluigi that just says very. We also have $10 from Mod Washeyy with no comment. And I'll save the rest for a bit later.
Yeah, as you can see, like, pause buffering that one is really difficult. So it's going to be the last boss we do just for a little bit. Once again, resetting the console, skip the cutscene, and then afterwards, the run's going to deviate from the intended route quite a bit. But this guy is a little bit difficult to actually beat. But once you get past him, it's really easy. The only reason why he's difficult is because of the bombs he drops down. So this is the only usage of the triple boost, just because it's not really good to use it anywhere else in the map, and it's a completely straight line, so it's really, really good for snaking, making it actually a very effective triple boost to use. So after we spawn back into the overworld, Tasha's going to give us the last overworld race challenge, which is going to be in plane. And then we're going to be heading back into Dino Domain to do the trophy race.
Abracadabra.
So an interesting thing about TT in the plane is in some very rare circumstances, the character drumstick is actually a bit better to use because he has tighter barrel rolls than TT. So he can barrel roll in a smaller area. meaning he can go faster on just a few tracks, such as like Space Dust Alley. But for the majority, TT's just better to use just because of his better acceleration at top speed.
Final lap.
Oh no! When you lose all your speed in the plane, you take forever to get that speed back as well.
Hello, bye-bye for now.
So the last overworld balloon, and then we're going to do the trophy race.
Dino Domain.
But we're going to be doing this trophy race quite a bit, so get familiar with these tracks there.
Mission late.
I hope you guys like them. It's very important for the run. It saves multiple minutes. So trophy races are basically just, I think the AI is buffed up just a little bit, and there's nothing special about them. You just have to win all of them.
Lap 2.
You get a certain amount of points depending on what position you come in the race. But obviously we're just going to be first the whole time.
Final lap.
Now, with these ones, we don't actually have the cutscene skip at all.
Lap 2.
Nice. So that area with the last corner before the finish line is actually a little bit tricky to navigate because you want to ideally bounce off the wall and collect the blue balloon. But a lot of things have to go right. You have to be in just the right position to have all that happen. That was a good race.
Jungle Falls.
So after this race, he's going to be entering Hot Top Volcano again, except we won't be finishing Hot Top Volcano. We're going to be doing a run warp. And the reason why we're going to be doing a run warp is for a trick called Trophy Storage. Basically what this trick does is it allows us to have the trophy collected for a certain hub world of the game without actually doing all the races there.
Hot Top Volcano.
So he's going to go out of bounds, and he's going to go under the finish line to hit this warp that exists for whatever reason. Can be a little tricky to hit sometimes. There we go. And he's going to spawn in one of 3 locations. So he spawned in Dragon Forest in the car. So there's 3 locations where he can spawn, and there's Dragon Car, Overworld, and Dragon Plane. Dragon Car is a 75% chance of happening, and the other 2 are a 12.5% chance each. And ideally we'd have Overworld spawn or a Dragon Plane spawn, but it only loses a few seconds for Dragon Car. So he's going to go in here, he's going to complete the mini game, and then he's going to lose the mini game. But this is a really tough mini game, so let's see how it goes. So yeah, just repeatedly collecting the homing rockets. Much easier than going around and shooting the single rockets at the other characters.
Oh. Alright, so we win the minigame there, and that'll actually give us the piece of the amulet. Because it takes like precedence over the trophy storage that we've done just before. But now we'll actually go back in and lose the minigame. We're just going to do something very cool.
Darkwater Beach.
Alright, so it gives us the trophy for the Sherwood Island Hub. It saves a fair bit of time. It saves us basically the time it would take to do all the Sherwood Island races. And because the races back in Dino Domain are very, very fast, we're going to be repeating that for pretty much every other world.
And yeah, since we're back in Sherwood Island, to get the trophy in that way, we are doing the silver coins and the boss again. So it just works out really well routing-wise. Unfortunately, nothing much really to talk about during the silvers, so if you have any donations or plug the event, you can go for that.
Sorry, I missed that. Alright, we have $5 from Insomnia, and I can't say thank you, but I have to because it's a donation. Here we go. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Thank you.
Well done, sir. Well done.
We also have $10 from Lord of Conquest, who says, happy to see this game, and 2 of my fave runners again. Barry, incentive goes to host choice.
Crescent Island.
Just quickly, we just passed the $22,000 mark. That is fantastic. Thank you.
So Crescent Island Silver Coins is actually really interesting because it takes you up this little ramp and through the right path at the start as well. So it actually takes you pretty much all over the map in a way that most other Silver Coins don't really do. So on some of the jumps you can see that he's sort of like leaning the cart backwards. It's actually a function of the game. You can move the cart forwards and backwards to sort of extend or limit the amount of time you're in the air. And it just makes it so then the speed you have from the boost is extended. AI moment.
Yeah. Okay.
That was a really big jump. Alright, nice easy, just regular lap to finish off before we go to Bubbler again. This time in Bubbler he's going to drop bubbles instead of mines. Nicely done. Which lose even more time if you get hit by one of those, but again, once you get in front of him, it's not an issue.
I'll give you a special prize.
So in this version of the race, one of the balloons is missing, so we don't get to see the really big boost, but we still get to see the tier 2, which basically does a very similar job to the purple boost.
So basically every reset we're going to go back into Dino Domain and grab our trophy storage again for the next few. It's not really too much going on, but it's probably one of the best parts of the route, I guess.
There's a lot of cool stuff happening in the game at the moment.
Hello, friend. Select your abracadabra. Bye-bye now.
Well, I'm happy to keep talking if that's all right.
Go for
Yeah,
it.
go for it, yeah.
Excellent. We have $20 from Naz, putting this towards extending ASM by 4 days incentive. Haven't heard of that incentive yet, but you know, we could always start it.
Trophy race.
We also have $51 from DVDs that just says smiley face. $51 from Zoomy G. I am inside your walls. $5 from VOT. I used to think I was quick at this game. Speedrunners tempering casual egos yet again. Let's go. We have another $10 from Lord of Conquest. Thank you. I forgot to ask a question to the host. Have you ever had a dream that you had your you could, you'll do, you want, you could do so, you'll do, you could, you want them to do so much you could do anything? Yes, I have. Thank you for that donation as well.
Did you get a blue boost? Never seen that before.
Lap 2.
Whoa.
Power up. Final lap. Power up.
Okay.
AI making it a little bit difficult for a lot difficult to do this race well.
Jungle Falls.
So the reason why we actually need the trophies is not only for 100% completion, is we actually need to unlock the final level of the game, which is Future Funland. It's a little hidden thing that most people know by now, but if you honk your horn at the sign where all the all the trophies show up near the lighthouse, it'll actually play a cutscene and take you to the final level of the game where the boss is as well. So a lot of people actually didn't complete the game properly because they thought Wizpig was the final boss.
Hot Top Volcano.
Alright, once again performing the out of bounds to go to the wrong warp. See what kind of luck he gets here.
Missed again.
That's an overworld. Nice. So overworld saves, I think it's about 8 seconds. Because you don't have to go through the loading zone from Dragon Forest. And then fly all the way to
Snowflake Mountain.
to Snowflake Mountain. So this is one of the coolest AI manipulations in the game. He's going to reverse and turn around here and try to drive as quick as possible to get to the top level. And if he's done it correctly, he can just sit at this balloon and repeatedly shoot the other players in a particular way. So Diddy spawns there. He's just going to shoot Diddy, and Crunch actually kills Bumper. And then comes around here, so he just keeps on shooting straight ahead and finishes the minigame really quickly. That minigame without the manipulation is awful.
Yeah, the AI tend to drive around everywhere, and there's 3 tiers to that whole level, so you can be chasing them for a while.
And then going back in to do the trophy, to finish off the trophy storage. So he's going to lose the minigame.
And trophy.
So even though it looks like it's Dino Domain in the background, it is counting for the area where you lose the minigame in, just because it's just a visual thing, that's all.
Frosty Village.
Frosty Village Silvers. This is, in my opinion, the hardest silvers in the whole run. A lot of it is just really difficult to pick up. I think a lot of other runners do think that as well. It's a really difficult level to do well. Especially because this last one here, it's like in the water. So when you go in the water, you lose all your speed. But luckily he's got the bulk of the hard part out of the way. Now he's just got to deal with the 15 FPS gameplay. Whoa. Whoa. Snowball Valley is another sort of tricky silver coins. It's not as bad as Frosty Village, but it does. A lot of them are a bit out of the way, especially because you have to take 2 different paths in this particular section to get it. But luckily, it's pretty easy to get all in one go.
Everfrost Peak.
So in this game, when you get to really high speeds, it can be really difficult to actually like continue controlling like the character in the way that you want it to. So a lot of what Washeyy's doing here is quite precise, and slight misinput, a slight misdirection on the analog stick, especially in plane, causes everything to go shape of the pear. So. I did not realize how big that hitbox is on that balloon.
It's quite big.
Yeah, think about a lot of the tracks in Snowflake Mountain. The silvers in particular are just really difficult to do. They specifically put them so far out of your way in this section of the game. One of these silvers we actually learned in the practice room is not possible to be picked up if you miss it on the 3rd lap. It's the one just by the trees down here. Yeah, that one right there.
Oh. Boing.
Funny blue ice strikes again. Alright, one more coin to pick up just on the right here. And we're pretty much home free at this point. Except for the AI. I think you got all cutscenes. That was nice.
I'll give you a special prize!
As per typical fashion for the second race of each boss, some balloons are missing. The one that's missing is the one that jumped down sort of a little bit through the map and not at the very start. He's actually going to try and get pushed here by the snowballs. It gives him just a little speed boost. Enough to make a decent difference. And then there's the second balloon missing down here, but what he's going to do is actually going to go up on the slope. Oh, he's not going to go up on the slope then. My mistake. Didn't realize you can make that boost.
Yeah, so you can go up on the slope and actually bonk off the wall. And if done correctly, you'll just basically boost yourself all the way to the end. But you can get stuck on the wall really easily as well.
Right, okay.
So same thing as before, we're just resetting, skipping the cutscene. We're going to go back to Dino Domain, and we are going to do it twice because we're actually going to complete the Dino Domain trophy for real, and then we're going to do the wrong warp again. So if you have any donations, feel free.
Oh, I love talking, and we do have donations. We have $50 from Anonymous that says, "Shoutouts to the Crunch, the best character in this game." And I'd just like to remind everyone that, of course, we are AusSpeedruns, a group doing speedrun events to raise money for charity. For this event, we're raising money for Game on Cancer, a charity which funds early career cancer researchers who are working across all areas of cancer research. So if you'd like to donate, you can head to donate.ausspeedruns.com.
As James said, we're going to be completing Dino Domain for real this time because we do need to pick that up at some point, and this is just the best time to pick it up because we're not going to be going back into Dino Domain until we finish Future Funland from here. So what's going to happen is we're going to do the trophy race for Dino Domain and then get the trophy race for Dragon Forest, which we haven't seen yet. In an ideal situation, what would happen is he gets the Dragon Plains spawn. But again, it's a 12.5% chance of happening. Not very high, but stranger things have happened in a marathon. That jump is not being kind today.
Yeah, this particular section of the track is very hard if you're trying to go basically full send through the canyon there.
Yeah, the pickup of the blue balloon on the right side and hitting the zipper is pretty rough, but then yeah, you have to do it just right to be able to get the best result. Otherwise, stuff like that happens.
Jungle Falls.
I love just looking over to my left and seeing the host jam out to the music.
Volcano.
No wrong loop this time. Picking up 5 bananas, ideally just to, decrease the amount of barrels you need to do. 3 banana gang. So towards the end of this track, he's actually going to stay out of bounds. Because there's no cutscene skips and trophy races, he doesn't need to worry about actually pausing and having a good visual cue about when to pause. So he's just going to stay out of bounds and cross the finish line.
Alright, so that's the real one for Dino Domain, but we will be going back in there again to get our trophy storage before heading to Dragon Forest. Ideally, when we do the wrong warp, we will end up in Dragon Forest and with the plane outcome, but who knows what will happen.
Worst case scenario, he gets overwhelmed and that loses something like 15 to 20 seconds. Because so the way Overworld works is that he spawns in the vehicle that he had when he left the Overworld. So in this situation, he left in the car because it's faster to not take the plane into Dino Domain. So if he were to get Overworld, he would spawn in the car, and then Dragon Forest is across a body of water that you'd have to drive through, or switch to plane, which both lose time.
Yeah, this is very much one of those runs where the route can change on the fly, so you've got to be basically playing for the best possible scenario.
So there is actually a little bit of tech that he's trying to do with boosting and then landing on the ground. He's trying to tap the A button like a frame before he lands on the ground because it extends your boost quite a bit. It's not a huge amount of difference, but it's some levels when you're up in the air a lot like this one. You're like an A tap like that can be a pretty nice time save to have. There's a lot of really small tech like that in this game. Like there's the boosts and the way that the characters work is quite fascinating, honestly. Oh no.
Volcano.
Alright, let's see what kind of luck he gets.
Okay.
Alright, basic luck. Yeah, so from here, he's going to go do Haunted Woods because, one, we don't have the key for the minigame, and two, losing that minigame takes a really long time because you don't actually have any health. It's just, it's a banana collecting minigame, so you have to wait for the hour to collect all the bananas. So it's just faster to do the shortest track in this circumstance.
That's the trophy.
So yeah, that's all 4 of the trophies. So once we beat Wizpig, we can access Future Funland. But before we do that, we have to go and beat all these races and their silver coins. This is our first look at any Dragon Forest races, apart from the trophy race. So Windmill Plains has, I believe, the hardest out of bounds in the whole game. Not only because getting the out of bounds is tough, but navigating out of bounds is really, really, it's very precise. So he's going to hit the zipper and then boost a barrel roll. And he's going to go out of bounds. But the gap between the area on his left and the area on his right is so tiny because the area around the finish line extends out so far that it's really easy to clip back in bounds. And if he goes too far down, he will also be respawned at the starting line. So he just has to go around out of bounds, making sure he hits all the checkpoints. Alright, now he's going to head back inbounds, cross the finish line for the cutscene skip. Unfortunately, this is it though. Very nice out of bounds though.
Yeah, that out of bounds, getting it can save about 30 seconds. Failing it probably loses 10 to 15. But we'd rather like get it.
And he has to do it again under silver coins as well, and that's a completely different route.
Yeah, this world is what all the tracks in this world are some of the hardest tracks because there are 4 out of bounds to do, and then the tracks in general are kind of, tough.
It's a very, very difficult section of the game.
Yeah.
And this and Future Funland are very, very rough. So, actually a very tactical use of the shield there, because he knows from the AI that they're going to be dropping some slimes and some bombs in that little tunnel. So he uses it out of just pure safety, so he doesn't get hit by them. So in this hub, the Boulder Canyon is in the key is in Boulder Canyon, and it's up on this little hidden ledge that you need to hit the bell to raise the bridge, and then go up the raised bridge to get. The key itself has a bit of finicky collision, but it's usually not too often to deal with. That was really fast. And towards the end of this race, in the castle section, you're going to see kind of just how bad the lag can get in this game.
Okay.
Gonna pick up the boost, hit the bell as he drives into the boost for a second one. Boost up and grab the key. There we go.
So that key can be very tricky with the collision there. Sometimes you'll just go straight through it, even on like a slow pass through it. The game's just like, nope.
So yeah, here's a lot of lag right there. So in the best circumstance where we got Dragon Plain, what would have happened is James would have flown out of bounds to be able to go and do the first Dragon Forest boss, which is Smokey. And when you do that, you can do an interesting thing where if you get the cutscene skip, you can restart the race and it will give you the silver coins race after doing the first one. And it saves a good chunk of time because it saves a load and the extra driving as well. But yeah, in a 12.5% chance, it doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's a very nice time save to have.
Off to the first boss race. This one also has an out of bounds and it can be quite tricky. It's very, very precise to perform, so hopefully we'll get it.
Nice. So what he did there was he boosted into the slope and he barrel rolled off the slope, barrel rolled into the slope and bounced off it, and that pushes him through the invisible ceiling that exists, and he's able to go out of bounds. It's very interesting as well because in this boss, for whatever reason, there is a little hidden balloon that just exists underneath the map. So, and you can just, yeah, it's pick upable on everything, so you just get an extra balloon.
Excellent. Now try my new challenge. Collect all the silver coins from my world. Find 8 from each level and win. Then come back and see me.
So the last minigame for the run, Smoky Castle. This one is a bit different to all the other ones, where you have to pick up, I think it's either 8 or 10 bananas. I think it's 10.
10, yes.
And put them in your little chest. At the start here, he wants to drive as fast as possible because the characters are on a particular pattern. If he drives fast, he'll avoid getting shot here. Nice. So there's a very easy, if you mess up at all, you get shot by the AI that's there. But he managed to drive fast enough to avoid that. And he's just going to keep on following this pattern of going through the right and then going back down this, the ledge here, the slope. And he's able to complete this minigame very quickly. And yeah, with that we have the TC Amulet, which means we can access the final boss of the game, but not the first boss of the game just yet. So to access the first boss of the game, we just need to beat the boss of Dragon Forest another time, and then we'll be able to go and race Wizpig 1.
Windmill Plains.
Of course, after completing the silver coin challenges. So at the start here, he's going to pick up a couple of coins, just because these on the slope pick up. He's going to try and get this boost while also grabbing this coin, because the boost is required for out of bounds. So he's got all the coins up until this point, and then he's going to go out of bounds. Oh. Alright, well when that happens, all you can really do is go through and pick up the coins again. again, a very, very difficult out of bounds to do.
Go for it.
AI.
So I'm gonna go for it again. It really won't save too much time now, but may as well. There we go.
Nice.
Final lap.
Alright, the rest of this is just
Springboard Village.
your regular silver coins. So if you have any donations, feel free.
Alright, I'd just like to thank again HyperX, because they're our major sponsor for this event, and it's been terrific to have them on board to support the Game on Cancer initiative. HyperX make fantastic headsets, microphones, keyboard, mice, and plenty more products. So no matter what you play, if you're into gaming, they have something for you. And just a reminder, we still have those prizes available. So if you want to get in and get your donations in and have a chance to win some of these magical headsets, that would be great. Thank you.
Final lap.
This truck's ending section is one of the like hardest to sort of navigate, just because there's a lot of really quick turns. You can see he's going back and forward between them a lot, and then he has to hit that zipper, which is just another layer onto it. All right, back into a lag level.
Boulder Canyon. Go!
That last log in the level actually extends out. The hitbox road extends out really far. You can drive very obviously past it, and it will still sometimes register that you hit it, so it starts spinning around. And when that happens, you go there on the next lap, and the log's just in your way. But if you just take it wide enough, it's something that's easy enough to avoid.
Final lap.
It's a bit of very strange collision.
Haunted Woods.
Alright, final track just for a little bit, and then we have just a couple of boss races after this. that area through the tunnel is really difficult to navigate because it's you kind of doing quite precise inputs there to be able to get the best amount of speed while also taking the correct line.
If you can beat me again, I'll give you a special prize.
So once again, trying to do Smoky Out of Bounds, exact same thing, and then we'll reset the console after the race. Oh. There we go, second try. So, with the immense amount of out of bounds and the high execution and the difficult courses, this is a very easy run killer level if you're going for normal run attempts. But it's visually awesome to look at.
And reset.
Alright, and that's a last console reset. Oh, there's one more console reset we need to do for this run. And then it's just all gameplay from there.
Yeah, so we're basically going into our end game period now, which the game doesn't get any easier. It actually gets a lot harder to do the tracks very fast. So we'll see how we go. But at least we've got some good tunes to go along with it.
Future Funland really does kick it up a notch when you get there in the run.
Yeah.
Hello, friend. Select your abracadabra. Can now?
So Wizpig 1 is a consistent like 15 FPS race just because it's raining all the time and the rain causes a lot of lag. And you'll be able to see it when the race starts, just how laggy it actually is. And there's a lot of sections in this race where there's water, and if you fall in the water, it's actually quite easy to fail this race, even in a speedrun. So Wizpig is actually really, really fast in this. I think that only one person has ever lapped him. Or was it a Tass that lapped him? I can't remember.
No. There's a good runner by the name of Mr. Ponytail, and he's actually lapped him a couple of times, I believe now.
Oh, okay.
He's really good at this race. There was an old Tass that did it as well. It's very hard to do though, and you need very good understanding of how to manipulate like the lag. You can actually extend the boost even if you do touch the water a lot towards the end of the track.
Like he barely touched the water there, and he lost a lot of his speed.
Yeah, there's also a lot of funny little bumps in each track as well, which can just change your angle at any time. So We won't reset this time after beating him, but when this cutscene starts playing, we can actually reset, and it saves, you know, a few minutes, because you actually end up watching credits there. And a lot of people, when they played the game casually, they only ever got up to there, beat Wizpig after many tries, and never knew there was actually another world to complete. So yeah. We basically did credit skip. Alright.
Now we're heading into the meaty section of the game where it's all or nothing kind of deal.
It's very tough, and you can lose a lot of time very easily.
So what I was talking about before with the dragon plane and the route that you can take, it actually does take effect here, because what you can do after every first race, bangin' tune by the way, is you can restart the race and you'll get the silver coins race straight away without having to drive back into the level and wait for the load. So 4 tracks, 2 in car, 2 in plane. One of them has an out of bounds. Luckily, the out of bounds isn't too bad in the particular level. But that's the last one we're going to be doing. This is Space Dust Alley, which has a bit of funky collision and these lasers. So you just got to make sure you go low enough to not hit the lasers. And the big thing about plane is when you like go all in, it doesn't just save like 1 or 2 seconds. You save like a lot of time when you go all in on plane, because like each barrel roll just increases your speed so much.
So a lot of it is about trying to just keep that top speed up at all times with the plane. Once you lose it, time can pretty much just slip away from you so quick.
Yeah, we've been blessed this run not to have any bonks so far.
Don't say it, don't say it.
But when you bonk, you lose you lose all your speed, and it loses a lot of time. So yeah, he's going to restart the race here, and you'll see on the left side, shows the silver coins. So he just does the race a second time.
Yeah, that's mainly because there's no actual boss in this world until the end, which is just the final boss. So we don't need to like beat a boss, then go back in for all your silver coins. We can just start the silver coins. Each time I miss one of those race restarts, it costs me about 12 seconds, unfortunately. There's a bonk.
I cursed it. So yeah, first cutscene skip is the one that's really important to hit. Hitting this one just loses your standard 6 seconds. Obviously still not good to miss, but better than missing the first one. So Dark Moon Caverns, amazing track and terrible track at the same time. Great tune, but some of the physics, in particular around this rock section, are horrible. In the collision viewer, you can actually see the collision of the rocks and how far they extend. It extends way out past how they actually modeled it. So you can be considerably far off from the rock and still bonk. And again, holding right on the loop-de-loops just to save that little bit extra time for going even faster.
Got it.
That was really unfortunately positioned.
Okay to sneak in with a few more donations?
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, sorry I haven't been talking much, I've been jamming out to these tunes too much. But we have $9 from Anonymous with no comment, so thank you for that. And we also have $50 from Big Fud. Awesome weekend of speedrunning for a great cause. Great work to all the runners and the team for putting this together. Lesson 3.
Nice. So a really interesting thing you'll see with the AI in this level at the end, right before the last loop-de-loop, is that one of them will just get stuck on the wall and drive into it. So it's pretty funny to look at. So keep an eye out for that on the last lap, just before the last loop-de-loop. It happened in the previous race, so it was kind of hard to see. And James has to be really careful to make sure he gets these coins on the loop-de-loop before the final lap, because if he misses one, he actually can't go back through it to pick it up, so he has to do the whole race again. Actually be going too fast here to see the this is really good. I don't think the funny thing is gonna happen. Oh no, there it is. There they are. Oh no! Just got stuck on the wall. So now he's on those two tracks, he's going to head back to Dino Domain to do the trophy race storage one last time. Last time we're showing you these tracks, promise. But this one in particular, because the tracks in Future Funland are so long, actually saves more time than every other one. And the reason we're doing it after doing those two races is because it unlocks Spaceport Alpha, which has the out of bounds, making it the shortest level in Future Funland. So we'll do the 3 races and then we'll win Spaceport Alpha, and then we'll have the trophy for Future Funland done.
Alright, might as well sneak in with another donation while we're going back over these tracks. We have $10 from Lord of Conquest, who says, and please stop doing this to me. Space Jam DVD, 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 and Space Jam DVD.
Lap 2.
Oh. Yeah, those balloons in the last section have some really funky collisions, so you can just go straight through the sticks like that.
Finish! Jungle Falls. Get ready! Go!
Whoa!
Lap 2. Final lap.
In the drink.
In the drink.
And we have another $10 from Lord of Conquest. Thank you again. And this is for the host being such a good sport. Love this marathon. Thank you.
That has been evading you today. Alright, Dragon Car. So, in the cutscenes, you may have noticed it's Japanese text, and obviously we're playing on the Japanese version. And the whole reason we're playing on the Japanese version is for this next track. The out of bounds that exists on Spaceport Alpha is Japanese exclusive.
Spaceport Alpha. Get ready! Go away!
So what he's going to do here is he's going to grab a shield and use it right before he grabs the boost. And on this little thing on the side, the top doesn't exist, and you can just fly straight through. They patched that in every other version except for Japanese, I believe.
Lap 2. Final lap.
And yeah, the 3 checkpoints that exist are in the bottom right, the bottom left, and then the top left. There's none that exist in the top right, so you can just cut off that whole section of the map entirely. And with that, we have all the trophies. So from here, we got 5 more races to go. We got the 2 in Spaceport Alpha and the 2 in Star City. And 1 for silver coins in each, and then the Whiz Pig race, which has an out of bounds at the very end of the run.
Spaceport Alpha. Lap 2. Final lap.
I thought you missed a checkpoint for a moment. Alright, and at the end here, he's going to go back inbound just for the cutscene skip. There we go.
So one more time, just back to the silver coins again.
Yep, so the silver coins, as per usual, have a bit of a different path, but can still do the out of bounds pretty comfortably. You just have to adjust your lineup just a little bit to be able to get the silver coin that's in the area where the out of bounds takes place. Nice. There we go.
Lap 2. Final lap.
Then back in bounds a little bit earlier, just to grab the last couple of coins. There's one there, one at the top of this tunnel, and one in dead center as you enter this line.
Go Dorian.
Alright, final track, Star City. This is this would be like one of the most popular among casual players, I reckon,
Oh,
because
this is a fun track. I love this
it's
track.
a great track. So that boost is a bit deceiving. You do actually have to slow down just a little bit to hit it properly, because you jump off the ledge and you'll go over it most of the time if you go full speed.
Lap 2.
Oh, that boost! Oh, that sorry, that shield.
Oh,
Oh no!
you got me.
Final lap.
He also has to be really careful navigating this bridge when he gets the zipper, just because if you fall off the bridge, you have to go all the way back around and timber.
Oh my god.
He won't leave you alone.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to go all the way back around and go back onto the bridge and take the path again. Nice. Gold or silver coin cutscene skips. Well, the regular cutscene skips, sorry. So they place these coins in the corners, and they're a little tricky to get. The hardest silver coin would be the one that's on the bridge at the very far right. You'll see it coming up here. It's a very tricky one to actually hit. Nice. And the rest of the track is just as per normal.
Final lap.
No timber this time. Alright, and that's the final, we're coming to the final race, final boss against Whizpig. So, as I mentioned earlier, there's an out of bounds. So, it's a bit of a tricky one. You're going to do the same sort of thing you do in Hot Top Volcano where you go under the map. And the start of this race is really important because a lot of things are on a cycle, and if anything goes wrong, it can throw off the cycle pretty easily. But time will be on the when he crosses the finish line on the third lap. And the way he's moving right now is dodging all these lasers perfectly, and he has this boost that he got right at the start. Alright, and he goes underneath the map to get it, and he has to find a very particular way to hit the checkpoints. And this one is really strict on how low he can fly as well, just because, as I said before, it'll reset him back to the starting line. Alright, final lap, so time's coming up soon. Time. You got a PB.
No, 2 seconds. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's really fun to do, and thank you to AusSpeedruns for letting me perform that. Thank you for commentating with me
Thanks
as
for
well.
having me on.
And yeah, let's go.
We good?